basically, I'm going to take you back then because I said to myself,
have we started already?
Yeah, let's just talk.
It's free flowing.
Basically, I wanted to say, like, so if you want to take this 20 minutes and take a nap, we will totally cover for you. We'll tell the label that we did the interview because you have been everywhere. And I'm talking like this schedule that you've had has been so intense, especially after, you're recovering from COVID and everything.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you about one thing. Spicy rigatoni.
Yeah.
Tell me about this dinner at Carbone that you had with Rihanna, Madonna, Justin Bieber.
Well, it wasn't actually with them. Well, Bieber had like a documentary thing, so I just popped in I haven't seen him in years, so I popped in to say hi to him. But then Rihanna was having dinner with someone, and then Madonna was having dinner with someone, so I was kind of like, I kind of know them, but not like really. So I just sort of said hi. But
do you get nervous going to see real other celebrities as well?
I mean, I was pretty drunk by the time I actually worked up the courage.
So they get liquid courage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was just like, whatever. What's the worst that can happen?
It's hard to imagine like a guy like you being nervous when you see other celebrities that are on your level.
It's not so much celebrities, it's just going up to someone you don't know very well.
Oh, I see.
Well, because that's what people, it's a misconception. Just because you're in the same industry doesn't mean that you're like rubbing elbows with these people all the time.
Usually, I mean, I have met most people, but just like very briefly at award shows and stuff like that. But yeah, it's I guess there's this sort of unsaid thing between everyone where everyone kind of gets it.
Yeah.
But also like my best friends are not celebrities, and I'm sure Rihanna's best friends aren't celebrities either.
Absolutely.
We all have our own circles that we mix in that aren't in the world. Yeah.
Definitely. Cool. So how are you feeling? Do you feel better? Because I know that's a big question that a lot of people have right now. You just got out of quarantine for COVID.
Well, I announced that I had it because I had to cancel a big TV thing in England, but I'd actually had it a few days before that. I felt weird like announcing it to the world. It's such a I felt so odd having it.
Right.
You suddenly you question where you got it from, who gave it to you, have you given it to anyone else, and you have to sort of announce it to the world. And then I had to announce it to the world that I didn't have it anymore, and it was just it all felt a bit weird. So I'm glad to be out of it.
Definitely. And this past weekend, SNL, I have to be honest, it was so wonderful to see you there because I almost felt like you were cheated. You know what I mean? Like you were supposed to do it before, but you came back so strong. You made an appearance in the Dionne Warwick sketch.
That was the first sketch I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm always. I'm always in and out because it's always around album week or single launch, so there's always other things to be doing promo for that aren't rehearsing for a sketch. So I liked the way that Adele did it, where she just was like, right, I've never had time to host it, so I'm gonna go and give a specific week and I'm gonna host it.
Yeah, who's that girl? Adele? I don't know if I've ever heard. She sounds like she might be something. She might be something really big later on, you know?
Watching you on television in my house, I noticed you have these really cool sneakers on, bro. What was the first pair of sneakers you wore when you performed? The first ones. They were like brownish?
Oh, those were...
I gotta know.
We're talking about SNL, his appearance on SNL, because he was...
Cool.
Those were Yeezy ones.
Fashion. What were they?
They were Yeezy ones. Yeezy ones, yeah.
Cool
Greg
sneakers.
T, but you know what? You can't pull it off like Ed Sheeran, honey. Like we're from Jersey.
I've never really been able to pull off shoes, and then my wife started getting into this. So she had Lyra, our kid, and basically sort of got a new wardrobe after that, and she was like, well, I always have trouble like mix and matching things, and she was like, let me just get good cargo trousers, plain white t-shirt, and really good shoes. And so since then I just wear cargo trousers, plain white t-shirt, and I probably have like 10 pairs of shoes at home, and I just rotate them, and now people are like, oh my god, I love your shoe.
This stuff.
And you keep it simple.
I noticed your fashion more than just the song.
But it's so
he looks cool.
But it's so easy. It's so easy. You pick 5 good pairs of shoes, and you get 10 just plain t-shirts from wherever, and I have 7 pairs of cargo trousers that I just rotate throughout the week and wash, and
I love it. That's what I got. I'm serious. I got like 4 pairs of jeans. They all got holes.
No, but my wife's the same now.
Really?
She bought the same thing. She bought 7 pairs of cargo trousers. She's got crop top white tops and 5 pairs of trainers, and that's.
You bring it back to basics, and it's almost like style advice with Ed Sheeran. This is what we're going to do next. Well,
what a weird person to take style from.
Listen, it's working for you because Greg T came in. He was like, I want to ask him about his outfit. I do want to ask about the album, though. It came out October 29th. Let's talk about it. Your 5th studio album. Is it any different? We were talking about this. We wanted to ask you so many questions about like the behind the scenes stuff, you know? So when you present what your album is going to be to the label, How does it work? Like, are there songs that you're like, no, this has to be on there, or that you're really passionate about, or is it a collaborative thing?
It's definitely a collaborative thing because I listen to people's opinions, but and my label and manager will know this as well. An album, number 6 collaborations project I wasn't trying to make an album. It was just a project, and it was just 15 songs, and they were whatever they were. But in terms of albums, like with Divide and Multiply and Plus, it's not about having 12 radio bangers. It's about having moments on the album where, you know, there might be a vulnerable song that's 5 minutes long that connects with an audience more than a song like Shivers would. But Shivers, I feel like, because I had Shape of You, people listened to Castle on the Hill, and because I had Shape of You, people listened to Perfect. And you have a song that will open up the world to your music. So I have Bad Habits and then into Shivers, but then because of those two, people might listen to Overpass Graffiti,
Right.
and if they listen to that, they might listen to Joker and the Queen, and then there's a wider scope on an album rather than doing it sort of song based. It's more, there's like a specific rollout that I want different styles and vulnerability to come across.
Yeah,
think.
so it's almost like you're taking people on a trip, like
Precisely,
throughout
yeah.
the whole album.
It's not
so
just
it's
like
not just
here's
the one
a hit,
single.
here's
yes.
a hit, here's
yes.
a hit. It's you have to have a journey.
So now you got the new album out, and you're gonna, do your tour. You'll be performing everywhere. So let me ask you another question that I think that people would love to know when you're going to see an artist perform. How do you decide the playlist that you're going to perform in different cities? And do you play different songs in different cities? Are there certain songs that you're like, I'm in New York, I've got to play this one, versus I'm in, Tennessee, and I'm going to play that one?
Well,
How do you
yeah,
decide?
I used to do it based on. I mean, this sounds very like calculated, but I used to do it just based on popularity of the songs, because there are some songs. My biggest song in the Nordics is "I See Fire," and that's a song I did for The Hobbit, and it wasn't really a hit in England. It wasn't really a hit in America,
Yeah.
but it was huge in Sweden, Norway, and so I used to close the show with that, and then in other places I'd close the show with "Shape of You" or whatever. So it just depends on where in the world you are and what songs they connected with. I did a song for Fault in Our Stars over here that was really big in America and wasn't really big anywhere else. So that would be something I would bring out in America. So it just all depends. There's probably 12 songs that I would never get away with not playing.
Okay.
And I think that's Thinking Out Loud, A-Team, Shape of You,
yeah.
Perfect,
Yeah.
Bad Habits. There's like certain songs you have to play.
And do
Right.
you have one song? Now, you touched on something that you would end with when you are in another country, but what about here in New York, or in the States? Is there a certain song that you have to play? For like Billy Joel, I'll date myself. Billy Joel, he'll do Piano Man. That's how he ends it.
Yeah.
So how would you end your shows here?
Well, Billy Joel is further into his career than I am, so maybe there's a Piano Man that I still have yet to write. But for me, at the stage I'm at now, if I'm not closing the show with a song off the new album, it's been a failure. So I would like to think I'm closing with Bad Habits.
Dude, I never get a chance to ask artists
I
these
know, this
questions.
is-
This is
I would never
really
think
cool.
of it that
I
way.
thank you for answering this
Yeah.
question. I swear to God.
Well,
you always have this wonders.
Is there a song that you loved that you feel kind of like nobody really got it? Is there one that you can think back on?
I think the Bruno Mars Chris Stapleton song. And I spoke to Bruno about this. I'm like, that... Because I see that now. That's in like people on TV in England will like do dance routines to that song, and that song still like exists, and people still like that song. But when we made that, I was like, this is great. Like,
Yeah.
I love this. And it sort of came out and just was, I think because people see my name and Bruno's and they go, oh, this is going to be the pop masterpiece, and they're
Right.
going to make
Yeah.
whatever.
expectation is
it's
there.
going to be like Uptown Funk or whatever. But that's what we were trying not to do. We wanted
Right.
to go in and do something like different. So I think at some point that song will exist in, whether it is in like it's synced in a movie or it's an advert for something. I think that song will have a life of its own at some point. But that was when that came out and didn't really do anything. I remember being like, man, have I really got it that wrong? And now I can listen back to it and I'm like, I don't think I did get it wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't think it. I think it wasn't what people was expecting.
Definitely. Well, now let's talk about your part. Well, I mean, I guess are you re-recording with Taylor? Can we talk about that?
Yeah. It comes out on Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then tell us about that process. Like, what was it? Did she have to give you a call? Like, you guys probably talk to each other all
Well,
the
when
time.
she announced that she was making the re-recordings, I actually hit her up and
Did
I
you?
was just like, whenever, let's do. Everything has changed. But there was a certain time in her contract that she had to wait before she could record again. So one day she just hit me and went, yeah, we're good to go. because we recorded everything from scratch again. It was actually really fun going back in the studio and re-listening to the song and being like, what did I play? How did I sing it?
Yeah.
What harmonies did I do? And then recreating it for a track. And it was super fun. And then obviously the song Run, which was the first song we wrote, that's coming out. And, I've had that on my laptop for the last 10 years. We wrote it 10 years ago. And I sort of been there the whole time being like, do I bring this up to her? Do I say we should do this at some point? Like, it is a great song.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that she's wanting to release it now. And I think it's a wonderful thing if you're a fan of an artist for them to be like, here is the album that you loved, re-recorded and re-sung. Sounds better. All the royalties are going to Taylor now, but also here are songs that I wrote around that period that you never heard, because I have so many songs that I wrote for Multiply that no one ever heard, so many songs that I wrote for Plus that people never heard, so many songs that I wrote for Divide, and there's never really a world where you can release them because they're kind of encapsulated in that time. So I think she's got this thing that she's doing now, and I think a lot of other artists are going to emulate that.
Yeah, definitely,
because it's not only smart business, but it's also really fun to go and relive that era, to go back. I went back and re-listened to my debut album because it was 10 years since my debut album, and I was doing a one-off show, and just immersing yourself listening to that for a day and being like, oh my god, like I forgot I felt like this then.
It transports you back to that time.
But then actually going to re-record it was so fun singing Everything Has Changed Again. So fun.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's the holiday season, so when are we getting an Ed Sheeran Christmas?
December.
I mean, come on. Yeah.
December, yeah.
Okay,
December.
so I was going to ask about the holiday music. So
Everybody
can you?
does it.
Yeah,
You gotta do it.
I've got 2 songs with Elton John. One's gonna be the Christmas song, and then we did a B-side that's just funny that we're gonna put out there. But
Awesome.
yeah, I've never really been like, I like Christmas and I like Christmas songs, but I've never really thought of doing a Christmas song. And to be honest, I don't think I would if it was on my own. But Elton rang me up last Christmas Day and said, "Let's make a Christmas song."
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Exactly.
Why not?
It's Elton John.
I get those phone calls.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
hold on a
of
second.
Elton
Yeah,
John.
Hey, Elton, I'm not available right now.
No, but you know what? It's so funny because people say like, okay, you've teamed up with Elton John, you know, also Taylor Swift. Any chance of an Adele collaboration?
Well, she doesn't really collab with anyone,
right?
So
maybe it's baby, I'm cold. Baby, it's cold outside.
No, I think her thing is so good that like you don't want to mess with that. I've known her for about 15 years though. She used to tour with a guy called Jack Pignati that my cousin was the housemate of Jack's drummer. So she used to open up when she was younger. She used to sit on a stool with a bass guitar and sing. So I ended up seeing her at all these tiny shows. So when she obviously went on and had success, I had success about 3 years later, and we'd bump into each other, and it's really nice to have someone that you've known for that long. I mean, I don't know her like super well, but it's really lovely to, we're both British and I think have quite a fair bit in common. And yeah, she's lovely.
Well, I do want to talk about, your personal life just quickly. You have a beautiful baby girl, and it just seems like everything is falling into place for you. But what has Parenthood done for you? Like, how has it changed your perspective as far as writing? And like, has it done anything, or are you just
I think your priorities shift, don't they? I mean, like I'm in New York for 3 days, and usually if I was in New York, it would be, where's the party at, and let's go out for dinner, and let's go out for drinks.
Yeah,
until
last
2 o'clock
time you
in the morning.
came in and you were drinking right before you came into the show.
Oh my god, wow. But yeah, now so she woke up at like 5 this morning, and I was up fresh as a daisy, ready to eat oatmeal with her. So whereas before I'd probably be getting in at 5. Yeah. So it's your priorities shift, and I enjoy hanging out with her more than anyone else. So if it's a choice of do I want to go for dinner with this person or do I want to hang out with my daughter, I would always hang out with. I mean, she's so fun. She's so fun.
Well, recently Serena Williams was talking about her daughter, Olympia, and she was saying how she's like amazing at the piano, and she doesn't think she's ever going to want to play tennis. Like, do you ever think about that? Like your influence on your daughter? Like, are you going to be the type of person that says, I want you staying away from the music industry, or will you cultivate all of those things as you see them?
No, I think I don't want to give any barriers at all. Yeah. I mean, if she did want to be in it, I would try and help her navigate it, because I think being young, male or female in the music industry it's all of the stereotypes of the music industry are there for a reason. When they say there's like sharks and it's like it's a full-on business, and you know, I navigated it from a young age, and I had people like Elton who helped me navigate it. So I would like to think I could, if she did want to get into music, but I don't know, whatever she wants to do, whatever she might want to. She might want to, I don't know.
That's what I say. It's like the possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think all I want to instill in her is confidence. You know, to be able to be able to feel like she can do. Well, so there's a difference between like entitlement and confidence. I don't want to feel like she deserves to do something, but I want her to feel like if she works hard enough, she can get something.
Absolutely.
Scale of 1 to 10, how good were you at changing diapers?
Oh man,
I thought I was a professional.
I have a lot of guy friends who are becoming dads for the first time now, and a lot of them are saying the same thing. They're just like, man, you feel useless because you can't actually do anything except diapers.
That's
and
it.
Cooking and cleaning, and then you basically fill in because I remember being in the hospital and you sort of just stand at the back. And you are completely, you are powerless, you are useless, you're just waiting there until it's decision time and the doctor goes, "Oh, wait, what do we do?" And you're like, "You're the doctor." Yeah, but
I swear you do. You feel so helpless when your wife is sitting.
But man, diapers are like I just don't respect blokes that don't do them. I'm just like, well, if you don't do it, what do you do?
You gotta jump in, man.
I love that statement, and so many dads that listen to KTU are gonna love you for saying that too.
Most dads do it though. Most dads, it's. But man, sometimes I've been around friends' houses. Lyra's had a number 2 or whatever, and I've gone to change her. And the person we're with is like, whoa, I've actually never seen so-and-so change a nappy. And their kid's like 4. And I'm like, what?
How did they exist? Seriously.
And I love you, I respect you so much more than I know. Like, I'm like, Ed Sheeran's changing diapers, man. We can all do it.
We never wanted to go. I mean, first of all, we had Lyra in a pandemic, so we didn't have any choice it was just us. Yeah. But I love being a dad, but I would struggle to see the point of being a dad if I was just handing her off to someone.
Where's the connection? Yeah. You know what I mean? You do. Yeah. You connect in those
You've
little
got to work.
moments.
You've got to work. Like I'm working now, and my wife's in town, and we do have someone once Lyra's gone down to babysit and stuff, and you do have to work, but in terms of like, I would always have to do breakfast, and I would always have to do bed, bath, and bottle. Yeah. There's just certain things you just have to do, you know.
Well, you know what? You go to work, and honestly, we just love you. We're so glad that you could come up to KTU today. Continued success to you. Equals is out now. It dropped on October 29th. And where can we see you next, Ed Sheeran?
Well, I think. I don't want to announce it too early, but I think I'm going to be doing a secret show in December. I want to play the album in its entirety at a small venue in New York. So I'll be doing something like that. But in terms of tour, I'll be here in 2023.
Amazing. We will look forward to that, and also just wishing you a very happy holiday. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Have a happy holidays as well.
Yes, and great use of the word nappy, Greg T. Use that in a sentence today.
Well, I feel weird saying diaper because there's a chicken company in my hometown that sells chicken, and it's called Diaper Poultry. So whenever I see that word, I'm like, I don't want to think that the chicken is like
a diaper. So we say nappy.
Yes,
absolutely.
In England, there's a few. Also, cigarettes in England are called fags.
Yeah,
so it's like there's a real.
Yeah, it's a problem.
But it takes a lot of explaining. That's what it does. So, well, Ed Sheeran, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Nice one.